Welcome back, guys, to yet another episode in the WoW Token Challenge. Today, we have yet another episode going through the usual suspects and, of course, a couple of updates to some farms that we've been doing and progress updates on the slash played and, of course, how much gold that we have made. Now, I want to let you guys in on a little bit of a secret. This is not going to be the last episode. However, it is very likely that the next episode that I do, which will be after this one, so it'll be episode 10, will be the last episode. And that is because I want to keep it at around 10 episodes because it just sounds nice in my head. So if there is a little bit of a longer release time on episode 10, well, then it's because we're trying to reach the goal and it's taking longer than expected. But it feels really nice to be able to end at least season 1 of this challenge on episode 10. And then after that, we obviously move into a new zone. I haven't fully decided on which zone it will be, but some of you may be able to guess which one it is. Now, before we do get into today's episode, make sure that you guys participate in the giveaway for 2 months of WoW game time. This will be, as per usual, like the video as number 1, and then type a comment down below about something that you're currently doing in the game, maybe a progress update on a challenge that you're doing yourself, or something that you're excited for, because, you know, we got Mob Classic coming up, which I'll probably be checking out, and then we also have some 11.2 news, so everything is starting to shape up. We're moving into the second half of this year, and I really think that we're going to be moving into some really fun periods of what this game has to offer. But that's enough yapping for now. Let's get straight into the episode. One thing that I want to show you guys is another farm that we have been spending some time on. Now, as you know, in the latest episode, if you watched that one, you totally should, by the way. If you haven't, you should go watch it. We farmed up here right outside Ogrimmar, and that was some earth elementals and some water elementals. Now, another spot that we have, which I knew about, but I didn't really consider it because I didn't know that we could actually get Essence of Water here. I wanted to test out this particular area as well. Now, this entire beach has all of these water elementals. So, as you can tell, if you know the other farm, this is a lot more mobs. I don't necessarily want to say more dense, but some of the areas on the beach are definitely more dense. And additionally, I also want to say that I have done both of these areas now for a considerable amount of hours, which you will be able to see in the mailbox later in the video. And this particular area here has, I want to say, a little bit of a higher drop rate. It might not be the drop rate, it might also just be the amount of kills that we can actually get here compared to the other farming location. But the last 3 hours that I did, I got 34 Essence of Water and 37 Essence of Water and then 35 Essence of Water. This is, I want to say, probably what we will be spending our time on, because if we can consistently keep those numbers, especially at this farm here, this is the best gathering farm that we can do. It outperforms mining and gathering by about, I want to say, 1,000 gold even, especially even more so because when we actually do farm this particular location, we also have the chance to get a lot of the really decent white quality sets, the Grizzly, the Primal, the Tribal, the Battle Chain, like all of that stuff that's nostalgic related and also lower drop rates, it can actually drop from here. And that is also something that you will see in my mailbox, because I've actually been able to sell a decent amount of some of those for pretty low prices, but still we're taking the quick sales. And that makes this farm better than mining and herbalism. Ragefire Chasm is still good, but because we have so many duplicates of all of the transmog from there, the actual material farm itself is not good enough. So I will most likely be doing this all the way to the end of, well, being able to earn a total token. So I hope this makes sense to you guys, and I'll move straight into showing you guys an hour of farming right now. we have finished up a total 1 full hour of this particular farming location, and as you can see in my inventory, we have some rewards. We have 33 Essence of Water, we have 57 Globe of Water, and then we also have 75 Elemental Water. Now those two are not worth that much, but as you guys know, the Essence of Water is worth approximately somewhere between like 95 to 110 gold. Now besides that, we got a couple of these grays, but not anything of insane value besides this one. We got an Ancestral Belt, which we already have one of, which is a little unfortunate. But besides that, we didn't really see any others. Oh, actually, never mind. We saw the Ancestral Bracers. These we do not currently have posted on the auction house. I have sold these before, but again, we got 2 of the decent white quality items. These are actually both of the Ancestral type, well, set. The other ones not so much, and we also have duplicates of, yeah, pretty much every single one of them. But as you can see, 1 total hour, we got 2 items here that we're probably going to be able to sell for somewhere between 500 gold and 1,000 gold. And that's going to be pretty nice on top of the Essence of Water that we can get some gold for. And then as well as the Globe of Water and also the Elemental Water. Pretty nice, pretty good farm. This is the location that we've been spending some time on, and as you saw, it's pretty consistent around this number. And yeah, this proves to be about if you include all the trash as well that we're going to be able to sell here, and then some of the values from the whites and the grays, probably somewhere between 3,500 to 4,000 gold an hour. Really, really strong number, especially because the bottom line of it is covered by the materials. But let's move on to the next thing. Well. We have made it to the segment of the episode where we go over our slash played, and I also show you guys the mailbox. So, our current slash played is 5 days, 18 hours, and 11 minutes. And I can say right now that the amount of gold that we are going to be looking at is quite a lot. As you can see, we have 49,169 nice gold in the mailbox. And the biggest portion of this is, without a doubt, as you can see, Essence of Water. Okay? We have done quite a lot of hours. I'm not actually exactly sure how many hours this is, but putting this together is like 3, 4... 5, 6, 7. It's around 10. Probably somewhere between 8 or 10. And we just did a couple more, as I showed you guys earlier in the episode. So that hasn't sold yet, but we have done quite a lot of hours of Essence of Water farming. Now, another thing that we are getting from those farms are some of the really good white items. And I actually want to show that because besides some of these are actually materials that we did farm before, well, the release before we finished the last episode. So some of this is left over from previous farms, and this is why this shows up here. Because it had not sold when we were recording the last one, but a lot of it, if not most of it, has sold now, and you know, it's the usual suspects. But as you can see, this is actually one thing. That's the Primal Cape. That's one we've been talking about, selling for 950. Obviously 1,000 gold if you consider the auction house cut. Really, really nice to see this one. That's a big sale. It saves us a lot of time. Then we also have the Charger's Bindings here, which is another one of the white quality marks that we've been able to sell for 1,000 gold minus the auction house cut. Really, really nice to see that one. And then there are also a lot of these smaller regular grays and greens that we've been able to sell. Pretty nice. Maybe it's one collector, maybe it's a couple of collectors, but you can see we have some more here. And then you see Charger's Boots. Again, another one of the more, well, how do you say it? One of those sets of white quality items. Again, selling this one for 760. Also not anything that we can complain about. Really awesome to see. Then we also have the Ancestral Bracers here, which is another one of the white quality items, which is another one that we actually just restocked in that hour of farming that we did for the purposes of this episode. And as you can see, we sold it for 1,000 gold minus the auction house cut. Really awesome to see. We also sold 3 different pieces here: the warped leather boots and the loose chain bracers are both gray items. We sold them for 285 and 282. Pretty nice to see. And then the ceremonial cloak, again, that is one of the sets for the white quality items, selling it for 475 gold. Really, really awesome to see. And that's about it, right? But still, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was the other one? 6 right there. And then 7, right? So we're talking 7 pretty big boy items in terms of it being just grays and whites. Pretty awesome to see that we've been able to sell that, especially now that we've been farming a little bit more in the open world. And it does seem possible to quick sell them, air quote quick sell them, which is really nice. But as you can tell, that's a big portion of it. And then, of course, Essence of Water being 25k of it. But still, awesome. We obviously have also sold some other smaller things, as you can tell here in the mailbox. We unfortunately can't sort it so you can see anything super cool. But we actually haven't farmed since we started farming the Essence of Water. I haven't been inside Ragefire Chasm, and I also have not been doing any mining and herbalism, like big portions of it. Obviously, we get a little bit while we're, doing our regular farms. If we do one of the elemental farms, we pass by some of it. And you can also tell because there's a couple of pieces like this one right here. This was a big portion that we were trying to sell. But besides that, it's maybe a couple small pieces will show up here and there. You can see the 4 copper ore here. It's not going to be a lot because we're mostly focused on Essence of Water. And I most certainly believe that Essence of Water is going to be the one to take us all the way to our goal of a token. Now, right now, the token is at 349k. So with looting this, we'll see what the total gold is at. Well, we're going to be at about 250k. Okay? In my head, in my brain, what I currently want to do is I want the next episode to be the last one. So there might be a little bit of a longer period of time before the next episode comes out, depending on how the sales go, depending on how much time I actually have to farm. But that's the way I want to do it. Ending on, as I was talking about earlier in the video, ending on 10 episodes for Durotar is exactly what I want in terms of basically calling it a season final. Now, to put you guys onto a little hint, I have decided, and this is with a lot of consideration, we have talked about, and I don't know how many times in the comment sections of each episode, what we should allow to open when it comes to new zones. Most people think that we should just do Barrens. That's the overall sentiment. And then as for whether or not we should split up Southern and Northern Barrens, that's a little dicey. To me, I think we should do it the old-fashioned way and actually just open up for Barrens as an entire zone, because there are certain other zones that we will eventually make it to that didn't exist if we consider the time where Barrens wasn't split in 2. So that's kind of my way of thinking. I think that if a zone has the same name like Northern and Southern Barrens, I think it's completely fine to have it be one zone. There's a lot of opportunities in here, and this is the zone that we're going to pick. We also had the opportunity of going into Ashara and Ashenvale. However, we can really only get to those zones if we walk through Orgrimmar, which a lot of people didn't really consider fair. So I've decided to go with Barrens as the first thing. As the first zone anyway, because a lot of people were saying, well, if I open up for the opportunity to go through Orgrimmar, why should I not open up for the Zeppelins and the portals and everything like that? And I tend to agree with that particular part. But when we do get into Barrens, we do open up, well, when we also finish up the Barrens, we do open up the opportunity to go Dust Wallow Marsh, Thousand Needles, Mulgar, Stone Talon Mountains, and then also Ashenvale. Now, I will tell you guys right now, I am not doing another starting zone, because we know how rough these starting zones are, and to keep it a little interesting and a little fair, we are just going to say once a starting zone has been completed, that is written off on every single other starting zone that is in the game. Okay? So that is what I've decided to do. That is where we're going to go. And in the next episode, we are going to have reached our goal. And at that point, I'll go over our TSM graphs, and I'll also show a little bit about, I'll do a little bit of a recap video on what we did and why we did it and how much time we spent, so you guys can see all the stats. And then we will move on to the next zone, which is going to be, I guess you can call it season 2 of this WoW Token Challenge. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you on the next one.